The new recruits on their first battlefield couldn't stop their legs from trembling because what they were about to face were monstrous aliens. Their bodies were wrapped in hard metal shells, and with superior weapons, they had swiftly taken over 12 coastal cities worldwide. At this point, only Los Angeles had yet to completely fall. It was humanity's final line of defense to counter this invasion. The U.S. military decided to launch a small nuclear strike. Retired veteran Mike was urgently recalled. He was to join Martin's squad on a special mission. Before the bombing, they had to evacuate all civilians still trapped in the city, and they had only 3 hours to do it. But as the squad entered the combat zone, they immediately ran into trouble. That area was thick with smoke. Visibility was less than 1 meter. Even the slightest sound made the rookies extremely nervous. As the squad cautiously advanced, a shell suddenly flew in from ahead and instantly blew the soldiers away. Then bullets began raining down like a storm. Without a clear view of the enemy, the squad was overwhelmed. They could only fire blindly in the direction the bullets were coming from. Under the enemy's heavy fire, many squad members were wounded. Seeing this, the captain had no choice but to order a retreat, dragging the injured into a nearby house for cover. At that moment, they suddenly realized their radio equipment had failed. They had completely lost contact with headquarters, and one of the new recruits had gone missing. The captain immediately decided to take a few men to search for him. Meanwhile, the missing recruit was in the backyard. Since it was his first time on the battlefield, he was extremely nervous. Just then, an alien suddenly appeared behind him. Hearing the sound, the soldier quickly turned and opened fire. Fortunately, the alien was also a carbon-based life form and couldn't withstand that intense firepower. It was blasted into the swimming pool. The rookie quickly stepped forward to finish the job, firing wildly at the water. Hearing the gunshots, the captain rushed over. Before he could ask what happened, the alien suddenly stood back up. The soldiers instantly focused fire, shooting like mad to make sure the alien was truly dead. One soldier threw a grenade into the pool. Only after the explosion did they finally feel at ease. After the intense battle, the squad became much more cautious in their next moves. While continuing to search for civilians, they encountered a surviving Allied unit on the street. The Allies told them there were more survivors at the police station ahead. The radio operator also finally repaired the equipment. A rescue helicopter would arrive in 25 minutes. They didn't dare waste a second. After reaching the police station, they discovered civilians trapped inside. The rescue helicopter arrived right on time, but due to limited space on board, only the wounded soldiers and a few civilians could be evacuated first. Unexpectedly, just as the helicopter lifted off, it was struck by an explosive shell and destroyed. The military had completely lost air superiority, which meant no more helicopters would be sent. The squad had no choice but to evacuate on foot with the civilians. At that point, only 1 hour remained before the bombing. Alien ships had already gathered over Los Angeles. Scientists also made a shocking discovery. The aliens landed in coastal cities because they were targeting Earth's water resources, and their method of invasion was brutally simple. They attacked all living creatures on Earth. In the rear, the squad came across a dead alien. One soldier cautiously tried to remove its weapon, only to discover in shock that the weapon was fused with the alien's flesh, and its body was still writhing. Terrified, the soldier shot it again in the head, but even then, the alien was still alive. Fortunately, among the rescued civilians, there was a doctor. The captain suddenly had a bold idea. They decided to dissect the alien, hoping to find its weakness and perhaps a way to survive. The team worked together to carry the alien's body into the house, then immediately began the dissection. However, cutting open the head revealed no brain tissue. A soldier then cut into the chest cavity and finally located the brain. The captain pulled out a knife and stabbed it. Incredibly, the alien's body still kept squirming. Meanwhile, a large group of aliens had begun gathering outside. At that critical moment, the captain finally found the alien's weakness, a heart made entirely of water. It turned out the alien's heart was located on the right side of the chest, the opposite of a human's. The captain stabbed it again with his knife. A large amount of slime burst out of the body, and within seconds, the alien went completely still. After discovering the alien's weakness, the team immediately boarded a bus to evacuate. The captain raised his gun and reminded the team of the alien's weak spot. But just as it finished speaking, a loud roaring sound echoed overhead. With his rich experience, the captain immediately ordered the driver to stop. Moments later, several alien ships flew overhead. Because they stopped in time, the ships didn't detect them. The radio operator quickly contacted headquarters, requesting air support. But in the very next second, the alien ships locked onto them. Only then did the captain realize the aliens were tracking their signal, so he immediately ordered everyone to turn off their communication devices. By now, the ship was directly overhead. To divert it, the captain took a bold risk, grabbing the walkie-talkie and running out of the bus. He sprinted toward a nearby gas station, tied a rubber band around the walkie-talkie to keep the signal active. The alien ship was immediately drawn by the signal. Seeing it fall for the trick, the captain quickly ran across the street, hid behind a car, and as the ship approached, he threw a grenade toward the gas station. With a massive explosion, the alien ship was blown to pieces. After the blast, the captain stepped forward to inspect the wreckage. only to discover it was an unmanned ship. This meant all these drones must be controlled by a large command system. If they could find and destroy it, humanity might still have a chance. The team continued toward the evacuation point, but the bus didn't get far before it was attacked again by alien drones. The squad quickly got off and looked for cover. Faced with the aliens' fierce firepower, they stood no chance of resisting. At a critical moment, one of the soldiers found an armored vehicle and used the machine gun on the roof to suppress the aliens' firepower. Just as the soldier felt triumphant, a powerful shell suddenly struck, instantly blowing up several cars. The soldiers were stunned on the spot. The aliens had deployed a laser weapon, which blasted the armored vehicle into ruins. To give his teammates a chance, the severely injured lieutenant decided to go down with the enemy. After bidding the captain a final farewell, he grabbed a pack of explosives, used the radio to lure the alien over, and then pressed the detonator. In a massive explosion, the alien was instantly blown to pieces. The lieutenant sacrificed himself to save the remaining members of the squad. At this point, only 10 minutes remained until the bombing. The squad quickly hid in an underground shelter, but when the time came, they still didn't hear the sound of bombs dropping. The captain sensed something was wrong and immediately led the squad to the nearest Air Force base, only to discover the base had already been reduced to ruins. Then the captain contacted headquarters and under the cover of night called in a helicopter, successfully escaping the combat zone. As the captain looked down from the chopper, he saw the entire city engulfed in flames, like a living hell on earth. Just as the helicopter was about to exit the war zone, it suddenly began shaking violently, as if being affected by some kind of magnetic field. The captain quickly scanned the surroundings and noticed a pitch-black area below. With his experience, he immediately guessed that this might be the alien command center. So the captain led the few remaining soldiers and landed on the ground. After briefly assigning tasks, after searching for a while, they really found many aliens. Soon after, they also discovered a massive spaceship. The squad then moved through the sewers, arriving at the heart of the dark zone. There, they ran straight into several aliens. After an intense gunfight, all the aliens were killed. When they looked up, a massive alien ship was floating in midair. Suddenly, bullets rained down from the ship. Unable to locate the enemy, they had no choice but to retreat. As they climbed out of the sewer, the captain threw a grenade, blocking the pursuing aliens just in time. Once they were safe, and used the radio to request a remote strike from HQ, but without precise coordinates, they had to use laser guidance. This, however, drew in a large number of aliens. Faced with overwhelming enemy fire, they had to hold the line for 3 minutes. The squad fought back while retreating, trying to buy time to lock the laser designator onto the alien ship. As the soldiers engaged the aliens in close combat, just then, a missile struck, hitting the alien ship with perfect accuracy. With a massive explosion, the visible part of the ship collapsed. The squad began to celebrate their victory, but in the next second, the ground shook violently. The alien ship suddenly rose from beneath the earth, revealing its full form. They aimed their lasers at the ship again, but the ship launched a counterattack. A swarm of aliens came to stop them. Having learned their lesson, they watched as incoming missiles were intercepted by alien drones. Several squad members were injured, but the alien forces kept increasing. At the same time, the alien command center began relocating. Seeing the mission on the verge of failure, the captain risked his life, grabbed the laser designator and aimed it at the alien ship. Another missile came roaring in, and just before the drone could intercept it, a soldier picked up a rocket launcher and destroyed the alien drone. The missile successfully hit the alien command center. The rest of the alien ships lost power and crashed. They had finally defended the peace of the world,